The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests.
What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 340. We are streaming live, as always, on YouTube to over 150 countries worldwide. That doesn't mean a whole lot for the four of you that are here live, but we thank all four of you for being here. Hopefully, if you guys are watching this in replay or listening to a podcast, remember the conversation does not have to end now. The comment section below actually works. Go ahead and let us know how bad we are, how ugly we are, what we need to do to improve. We're taking all criticism. We understand that there's not going to be a whole lot of positive feedback. That's okay. We're not here to educate you. We're here honestly just trying not to make you any dumber. But if you are out here in the live chat, go ahead and say hello. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you want to text into the show, yes, you can text into the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends over at Wilder Tactical. That number is 530-364-4678. And go check out our good friends over at Wilder. Got great gear over there. They just introduced a couple new items that are pretty badass. But go check out wildertactical.com and let them know that Ghost sent you. Let's see here. What else we got to talk about? Oh, yeah. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole and you're in that darkness and you're looking for the light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I can probably walk you through some stuff. More importantly, I can just listen. I can just be someone that you can talk to. No judgments and all that. But if you are looking to get towards some medical advice, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255. Veterans, press the number 1. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Go check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-twig podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net. Let's get this off of my beautiful mug and say hello to the merry band of idiots for the night. We have from the weirdest state in the union, the only state that has 4 letters and takes 2 people to spell it out. We have Chris from the 740. What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. Snob says, I'll be calling you at about 3 a.m. just so we can talk about how weird Clover is. I can talk about how weird Clover is 24/7, so I don't sleep much, so we'll be good about that. That should take up a while. I mean, we could start at 3 a.m. We'll be still talking at noon, so on that subject. So it is what it is. But no, what's going on with you, Chris? Everything good?
Yeah, doing good. Put the review out on the T-Saws Night Stalker yesterday, and it's doing really good. It's getting a lot of views. So
yeah, you liking it so far? That good?
Yeah, man, it's nice.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I know you're not going to be at NRAAM. But you are going to what, GunCon, and are you going to Goals? Are you going to go to TriggerCon?
Yes, so I'm signed up for GunCon, TriggerCon, Goals, and then
going back to SHOT.
Back at SHOT before we do it.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It was amazing to me as this year's flying by so far. It's already almost Memorial Day, and it just seems weird. It seems like yesterday we were at SHOT, and I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for coming out. We're going to miss seeing you this weekend, but we'll see you soon for sure. excuse me, standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a Ginger, my lord, and a flatbed Ford. From the Gun Owners of America and Fully Loaded Reviews, we have John, the Ginger Soulless Bastard. What's up, man?
What's up, homie? How's it going?
I am living the nightmare, man. How about you?
Same.
Yeah. Nightmares are still dreams, right?
If you say so.
Technically, nightmares are still dreams. So I'm living the dream. It's just mostly nightmares. So, we're having some issues with the battle pup. She's a couple weeks ago was her 4th birthday, and we went to Walmart, and we were at Walmart getting some stuff, and they have like the gourmet dog food in the refrigerated area for the pets and all that. Like, hey, it's her birthday. Let's get her some of this gourmet dog food. And she ate it up pretty good the first couple of days. And then all of a sudden, and I'm not out there saying that this is the Walmart dog food that's doing this, because I have no proof of that. But 2 days later, she hasn't eaten hardly anything in 2 weeks now. She hasn't used the restroom much in 2 weeks. She's lost like 12 pounds. So she spent a couple of days at the vet. She spent all day today at the vet. They just wanted to watch her, did some blood tests, did some x-rays, all that stuff. And no, it doesn't look like there's any like cancer or tumors or anything. It's just her, as he says, her stomach is very angry. So he's put her on some medication, but she's lost her energy. It's been sad, man. It's just one of those things where I don't like seeing my puppy like that. And it's like, spent $800 today. And it's like, you know what? I'd rather spend $800 on my puppy than I would on most people. So hopefully, he said in the next 24 to 48 hours with this medicine, she'll start to act normal and get her appetite back and all of that stuff. So hopefully it helps. I don't know where we went off on that. I have no idea. Nightmares. Yeah, the nightmares. Yeah, nightmares. But, 2A Tuesday. What's going on? Any good news?
We are fighting the good fight on the hill. I'll tell you that. I haven't got any updates. We just filed our lawsuit on the ATF's new rule on doing business. That was a couple weeks ago. Thing I couldn't talk about right then and there. We filed our lawsuits on that. And it's just been, for me, I've been head down. I just got back from Florida from the NSSF Marketing Leadership
How'd that
Summit.
go? Is that good?
It was good. It was very good. Weird things we could talk about, but that's after chat stuff. But
I get it.
It was a good event. I had fun. Got to meet some people, new people that I didn't know, made some good friends. I had a great time at that event.
Good.
And then it's just been head down planning goals. So getting all the vendors signed up. I think we're up to 100 vendors so far.
Nice.
Filling out that floor plan real quickly. Everybody who's media just got their media approval today who submitted. So if you didn't submit it and want to come as media, there's some approval process, but you should have gotten your email today if you submitted for media. If you didn't get your email today, let me know.
I'm putting the link out there, goals.gunowners.org. Have information there. There will be a way to register there.
Yep.
Media, you can click the media bag and it has a thing that says request media credentials and all of that. So,
and we just put up the 3rd hotel today because 2 of them one of them completely sold out. The second one has 5 rooms left.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah.
Gizzard Gary said he did not get an email today, so I don't know if he submitted it. I'm assuming he did, but if you haven't, go check that out. More importantly, just for and I don't know how y'all are doing it, but for people out there that might be listening that are wanting to maybe go, and this might be for some of them maybe their first show to go to as media. Are there any kind of prerequisites or requirements that y'all are looking at?
Yeah, so Forge Relations is handling all the media. I am signing off on people. It is a minimum of 500 YouTube subscribers and or 2,000 Instagram subscribers because we've had some Instagram come in. So
yep.
As long as you meet those thresholds, you're in as media. I mean, I've made some calls on some smaller channels to get them in because they seem very enthusiastic to be there. But
sure.
Yeah, if you did submit a form and you didn't get your email today, resubmit the form because there was an initial issue. I'm going back through them again. We're pulling the list, so if you didn't get it today, you'll get it in the next couple of days.
There you go.
The initial batch went out today.
So just in case, if you haven't gotten one, Gary, mine was in my normal mailbox, but check your spam. But if you didn't get one, resubmit it in a couple days. If you haven't heard anything, just shoot me a text, Gary, and I'll get you hooked up with John, and maybe we can figure out what's going on. But resubmit it maybe and wait a day or so, and then get a hold of me, Gary, and we'll get you straightened out for sure.
Yeah, it'll Gary, you're in. I've already got you on the list. I don't know what happened, so I'll also call them again and make sure that you were on the list for people to get in. I know Snob got his today. I saw that email go out, and the 3 guys in this room. So
there you go. All right. What's going on with Fully Loaded Reviews? I know you guys have put a couple videos out. I saw the Kiger, and there's another one that I haven't seen yet, but I did see the Kiger video.
So we did the Kiger video, which launched about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then we launched on Monday of last week the new-ish Springfield 2020 rimfire. And this is a new colorway for Springfield. So this is a coyote tan colorway on this. I was very impressed with it. I called Clover right after I shot it, and we had some discussing on what ammo I was using was not the proper ammo, but we were showing off how it was a decent blinking rifle for the money. And they're running some deals right now on those. So go check out that video. I think it's a great video there. Kurt put in some funny stuff of some wildlife that joined us while we were shooting.
Which is funny in itself that Kurt's doing funny stuff. So, Snob says they probably thought at Gary's age they should send the approval to him via snail mail. That's probably accurate. Arminti out there says, let me know if you let her in, and she'll bring you some beaver nuggets. I don't even know what the hell that is, but that might be a reason why you don't get in is beaver nuggets. That just sounds terrible.
Wait, you've never had beaver nuggets? Have you stopped at a Buc-ee's?
I have once with Clover.
We gotta get you beaver nuggets in.
I had me a brisket breakfast burrito, which was pretty amazing. I had some beef jerky, but I did not get beaver nuggets.
Corn pop cereal. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's caramel.
The original beaver nuggets are corn pop cereal.
Okay. I was thinking it was like chicken nuggets they called beaver, so it's not even chicken nuggets.
No, it's like a puffed corn, whatever.
I like me some puffed.
And they got the original is like a corn pops. Is the best way to describe it, or sugar smacks, maybe even. And then the or maybe a cross, and then they've got a white cheddar and a barbecue and a spicy one, and they got some different stuff. Yeah.
Armintia, you get in. I'm telling you.
Why? Because she's offering to share her beaver with you.
She's already in anyway.
She's already in anyways, but she's in for all the help she gave us at the women's event. She's automatically in for all events with us from now on.
You do realize when she's in, you have to let Clover in. Unfortunately. I guess you don't. That could be real interesting.
So
Armintia will negotiate on that.
Need to change my name to that chick's husband, I guess.
That chick's husband. There you go. Yeah.
Dang it. Okay.
Beaver nugget sounds like something a serial killer would cook. That's fair.
I heard Corn Pop was a bad dude too.
Corn Pop. What is that? It's like a rapper or something.
Corn Pop. Oh, you don't remember that Biden quote? Where he's like, yeah, there's a guy named Corn Pop, and he was a bad dude.
I don't remember that. I try not to remember anything that fool says.
Is he the one that had hairy legs that
yes
changed in the sun or something?
I saw something today. It was talking about President Biden, and what was it? It was Stephen Colbert. And he was talking about like there was a scene from Johnny Carson back like in the late 70s, early 80s, whenever like President Biden was like a freshman like senator, right? And I guess over his first term that he had gotten caught with a lot of the speeches that he was talking about during his campaign and all that were actually stolen from like Robert Kennedy and Churchill, and kind of just changed the wordage to make it sound like his own and all that. And I was like, and he says, he's been lying for years and all that. And I was like, I mean, does that surprise anybody? I mean, come on. I mean, politician lying? Come on. Stealing stuff? No.
Did you see the video the other day where he was walking to Marine One and he did the toddler thing?
Oh, God. I mean, he brings it upon himself. Let's just be honest, you know. And I don't like the man, obviously, but I'll always refer to him as President Biden because of the respect of the office. But that fool is a fool. You know, golly. Wow. You know, I was talking, I think it was Chase or someone. It might have been Clover. I can't remember. We were talking a couple days ago, maybe, or yesterday, whenever it was. And we are talking about politicians and all that. And it's like, okay, it's like Nancy Pelosi, when she was Speaker of the House, I think with her speaker bonus and all that, it was like right around $200,000 a year, right? And she's worth $120 million. And if you wonder if politics is corrupt, how does someone who makes a couple $100,000 a year worth now $120 million? I just don't understand why people don't believe that politicians are corrupt, and they're corrupt on both sides of the aisle. But yeah, we can not talk about politics right now if you don't.
They're either majorly corrupt or they're minorly corrupt. But either way, corrupt.
Exactly. I mean, there's different scales, obviously, and the longer you're in, the more you get there. So it's like the freshman congressman, they're playing rookie ball. Maybe they get up to single A. You get reelected, they go to high A or double A, and then once they reach like 10 years, they're triple A, and then after that, once they start getting like committee chairs and all of that, man alive, that's when the dough starts coming in.
A great movie. It's an older one that kind of explains the corruption and whatnot.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yes, but more recent than that, Eddie Murphy, The Distinguished Gentleman.
Oh yeah, that was a great one. Actually, that's one of his better movies, in my opinion.
And if you want to understand it, it's a more modern Mr. Smith. But
it is.
Yeah, if you want to understand, you vote in, you get behind a candidate, and oh man, I know this guy, and he's awesome, and whatever. And as soon as he gets up there, watch out, because yeah.
I think that, I mean, and I'm going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, regardless of what party that you affiliate with. I think that most people, when they're young and they get involved, they no matter what your political beliefs are, I think that I don't say all of them, but the vast majority have good intentions. I think they go to Washington wanting to do good. Good for their people, good for whatever party they're a part of, but their intentions are decent. And it's just over time that they just whittle away at that, and they show you that the only way to gain power is to falling in line with the people that have been there for 20 or 30 years, and that's how you gain power within the House, within the Senate, which means that you had to do certain things to gain that power, or they're going to make sure that you never get a chair position, or if you don't fall in line with them, let's say you're a Republican and you don't fall in line with them, the RNC will find someone when it comes time for your reelection to run against you in the primary that will beat you. And that's, if you want to know how the sausage is made, you have to take a knee and get knighted, and take that knee and kiss the ring to stay in that position. And that's just the way of the world. I think I mentioned this a month or so ago. Might have been a little bit less, might have been a little bit more. One of my favorite podcasts, you guys know, is Team Never Quit. It's Marcos Luttrell's podcast. Phenomenal podcast. But about a month ago, maybe roughly around in there, his brother, who is they live, I mean, kind of down there, or I don't know how far, but they're probably within a couple hours of Clover.
Oh yeah.
Morgan, who's Marcus's twin brother, who is also a SEAL, Morgan ran for Congress and won. And so last year was his freshman year in Congress, and he came back when he was home for when they were on recess and did a podcast and basically kind of opened the doors and let you in a little bit about how being a freshman congressman works in Washington. And it's pretty amazing because it was a great podcast. Go check it out. Team Never Quits on their YouTube page, and just go find the one with Morgan Luttrell talking about being a congressman. But even a year into this, he was reluctant to talk about certain things. He was defending the establishment, including his counterparts on the other side of the aisle. Like when he went in a year ago, he was like, we're going to burn this place down if they don't do it right. And even a year into it, he's had to adapt that attitude. And I'm not saying he's sold out by any means, but he has to play that game if he wants to be reelected. And it's interesting how you just see, even in a year, they can start molding you how they want you to be or how they need you to be. And because if you ever want any support on any bills that you want to push through, you're going to have to kiss the ring on other bills for other people. Even though it may not be what you want, that's the way it works. And that's how, unfortunately, the sausage is made. If they did a movie now, it would be a dude that dresses like a chick called Sister Smith goes to Washington. That's fair. It is what it is. From the great state of Texas, the gatekeeper of Texas itself, the tactical virus. Leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove?
Hey, if I can find the mute button. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
see Midnight Race TM out there, and I've been watching a lot of Big J Okerson today. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him or not, but you're familiar with Big J?
No, not that I don't know. I might have seen their stuff, but I don't.
Just Google food. Just
name
Google it. Google food real quick. Big J Okerson.
Like Jay or
yeah, I guess, yeah. And
Big J Okerson.
It dawns on me. I'm like, this dude looks
I know this guy. Now I've seen some of his stand-up stuff. I don't know if I've seen his podcast or anything.
No, it was stand-up.
Oh, okay. Then I have seen some stand-up pop up on my feed.
It kind of reminds me of Midnight out there a little bit.
Yes. Armentia says special he is. Is that her best Yoda voice? Special he is. So, yeah. Anyways, what's going on with you? Everything good?
Yeah.
Are you in a better mood today?
A little bit, but not much. The rain finally stopped. But
no, you've been a bitch for a couple of weeks.
Dude, it's been solid rain for a freaking week here, man.
Like, there's a reason why I haven't called you much, is I didn't want to listen to you complain and just be all just you know?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I understand.
Right.
I don't want to listen to me, so I hear you.
No, I get it. You got me down the other day, man. Like, I talked to you yesterday, and I had to hang up, and I was like, I can't take this. I can't take it anymore.
Well, thanks for
being all depressed and shit.
Thanks for being worried about me enough to say, screw that dude. I don't want to talk.
Bro, I know when there's something wrong with you, and I know when you're just being a moody bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that in a mean way. I'm just saying, like, I know, like, when you're in that mood or when something's wrong, and I know that whatever the weather and all that, you were just in a mood, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this one go. Right. I know you well enough to know if something's wrong. Yeah, I think I do, at least. And I think you know me when something's actually wrong or when I'm just in a mood, you know?
Yeah.
And you were in a mood, let's say.
I've been in one for seriously like a week.
I bet you've been a fantastic peach to live with.
I'm looking forward. You would have to ask my wife that, but I'm sure I have.
She says she's ready for you to belong to me this weekend. So, yeah, she's going to get a break.
I'm looking forward to NRAAM. First of all, get away from the house. Second of all, we don't got to worry about the rain, other than maybe range day. If it does rain, screw it. We're in the building pretty much. It rained in Indy, didn't it? Pretty much.
It did.
Weekend.
Oh, did it rain in Indy, or was that in 2019? No, I guess, it did rain in Indy, didn't it? At least one of the days, I think it did.
It rained and snowed on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Did it snow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got cold started snowing.
As it got later in the day, I think it did. We
I
were out of
left
there.
like around lunchtime, so I might not have seen the snow in Indy.
Yeah, we were out of there early Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping I'm hoping that'll recharge my batteries a little bit. Come back but it's springtime, man. This is just Texas. You know how it is here. Who knows?
I do.
It be coming a storm one day and sunshine and be pretty. Then it's horrible, but it is what it is.
I will slap you if you bring that same attitude to Dallas. I will slap you silly and make you snap out of it.
I typically don't. I'm not, as long as you don't make me snap into a Slim Jim. Ugh. Now Jack Links maybe or something, but not Slim Jim.
Really? See, I whiny little bitch syndrome. I'm telling you, he's got Armentia. I'm sure you were around him yesterday, but yesterday it hit full throttle whiny bitch mode. So
I think she was there whenever you called. I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember our conversation or when I called.
Oh, it wasn't much of a conversation except for you just literally just crying and bitching about weather and all that. I was like, okay.
Well, you were talking about, you said to send the guys out in the rain with the weed eat with garbage bags on, being the horrible boss you are. Good Lord.
I'm a terrible boss. I know.
God.
I mean, they made a movie about me. A couple of them actually. Terrible boss.
Right.
Oh, you know what I forgot? It was really windy at your guys' house. There was like a 30.
No, it was windy that night. Yeah. No, it was windy. But I don't remember it snowing.
No,
it was windy in your room because Eggman was in there. So
they're just on my side of the house,
creating his own wind, and then that
slamming the door at 3 a.m, slamming the window. He's trying to gas you out, man.
The Eggman. He's the Eggman. He's the Eggman.
Yeah. Oh God. Wow. Yeah. We did see some interesting things at that house, though. We saw the Camaro going down the bike trail, and
ocean on its skin.
We had
basement was amazing.
Oh man! And then we had
the creepiest basement ever.
Oh, I mean, did you ever go down to the basement, Ginger?
No,
I'm not. I'm not lying to you. This is not an exaggeration. It's Silence of the Lambs. Like it looked like where he kept everything in the Silence of the Lambs. It was all bleached white concrete, ceiling, walls, floor. There's a little blood drain right in the middle of the floor. Like it was freaky, bro.
You're like explaining 90% of Midwest basements, like Northern Ohio, Indiana basements. That's all of them.
Well, that probably makes sense then.
It was definitely, we walked down and like Armentia was like, I'm not going down there. Y'all got to go first. So I walked down, we turned the lights on. I was like, Buffalo Bill's been here. I just feel it. He's been here, So, before we jump into any more weird conversations, you guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday over in our YouTube community tab, we have the pony polls. A couple of them we talked about last week because I didn't publish them. I went ahead and published them this week just to see what people thought. But the first one we put out, which was a better movie, guys? We're going 80s classics here. 80s classics. Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller's Day Off? It's a tough one. They're both classics. Not a wrong answer here. But, John, we're going to start with you. Ferris Bueller's Day Off or The Breakfast Club? If you had to choose one and only one.
Breakfast Club.
Interesting.
The ending scene with Judd Nelson. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, no. The best scene is when they were smoking. I mean, you know how I feel about it, but smoking up and dancing and all of that was a great. The whole movie was great. It's a there's a reason why it's a classic, right? I think that if you asked people in general, like what were the two movies that were like the 80s, like high school movies, I'd say probably three of them. I think Breakfast Club is one of them, Ferris Bueller's, and probably Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think between those three movies, you get the 80s scene, right? I would throw another one personally in there. A lot of people laugh at me when I say that I love this movie, but there was a movie called Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey. And awesome. If you've never seen Can't Buy Me Love, it's fantastic. But a lot of people don't see it the same way that I do. You like that one, Clove?
Can't Buy Me Love? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the African anteater dance.
The African anteater dance is just so good. And
It's the
Ginger's like, what
African
the hell are you talking about?
Man, John Hughes was the man
John
back
Hughes,
then.
man. That dude made so much money.
Anything John Hughes was awesome.
Like, I know that the 80s is when Spielberg really hit his stride, right? With E.T. and with Indiana Jones and all that. But I'm not so sure that John Hughes wasn't the most prolific director of the 80s.
Spielberg, Hughes, and Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer, but Bruckheimer was more of a producer, wasn't he? He wasn't a director in the 80s, I thought. Maybe he was. Did he do Top Gun, or was he a producer of Top Gun? He might have directed it.
I don't know. I get them mixed up a lot with the producer.
Yeah. But I mean, I know that, Spielberg probably made better movies, obviously, of the 80s, but John Hughes, like, just go looking at his resume and you would be amazed. There would be a bunch of movies that you didn't even know were John Hughes movies. Matter of fact, let's go Google through that.
Oh, man, Chris Columbus, too, now that I'm thinking about it.
Chris Columbus was good, yeah, but John Hughes. Chris, what about you? Can't Buy Me Love, but Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller?
Oh, Breakfast Club. I had a huge crush on Molly Ringwald when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I was never a Molly Ringwald.
I liked her.
So have you watched what might be her first film, Space Hunter? Seen that one, Chris?
No, I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, so you got to go watch Space Hunter. Space Hunter in the Forbidden Zone, maybe? Somebody can help me out there. But not an altogether bad movie. It's kind of one of those B movies of the time. But I think that was Molly Ringwald's first feature film, I think.
I was more of a Ali Sheedy guy. But yeah, they let's see here. Really? Did you know that John Hughes wrote Vacation?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did not know. I might have known that. I surprised myself.
So let me
might have known that, but my God. Breakfast Club, Porky's, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Weird Science, another great movie, Weird Science.
Yeah, he used to go.
That was the first one. That was the first one that it was one of the first movies that I knew I wasn't gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but was it Kelly Tillman, whatever her name was? Holy cow.
Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock. Yeah, Kelly LeBrock. And obviously Phoebe Cates in Fast Times. That was one of the first movies I realized I wasn't gay, because that was pretty awesome in the pool scene. But yeah, Kelly LeBrock, man. Terrible movie, but such a great movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You little turd.
And freaking, what was his name? Played the brother. Bill Paxton. I mean,
I said, you little turd.
One of his probably first movies. He looked so young in that. But yeah, 63% are correct when I say Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love. Me,
but okay.
No, I didn't. Did I? Yeah. Oh, I thought I asked you like right after John. All right, which one did you pick?
We got off on a John Hughes kick, and
we did. You're right. What did you pick, or what would you pick?
Is it which one I think is the best or my favorite?
Which is better? Like which one? Like which one of the two? If you only could watch one of them, which one would you?
If I'm only going to watch one, it's going to be Ferris Bueller, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
Bueller, yeah. Better movie, I'm not gonna, probably is Breakfast Club.
I think 100% the better movie is Breakfast Club. Yes.
Yeah.
For some reason, I love the Breakfast Club, but for some reason, I think everybody wanted to be Ferris Bueller, right? Like, I think everybody wanted to be Ferris Bueller at some point.
In the movie, not in the movie.
What's that?
Yeah. I said in the movie, not in the movie. Have you seen the breakdown that they did on his room? There's a channel that did a breakdown one time
on his bedroom in the movie.
On his bedroom, and how many tens?
The electronics that were. Oh yeah, how rich was his family?
His
type
keyboard,
thing. Yeah.
His keyboard is like a $40,000 keyboard back in the day.
And how rich was his family? Yeah, right. I've seen that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty. Midnight says if you watch any one of those movies at 12, 13 years old, they would flip that channel in your brain. Yep, 100%. Like you're going to go back to that time. Yeah, life was good back then. Life was good. 63% say Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So it is. We talked a little bit about this last week. It started out as chocolate versus vanilla, and then we got down the rabbit hole. So I went ahead and put a poll out there: Great Divide or Neapolitan? Clover, we'll start with you on this one.
Man, that's tough.
We talked about both of these last week, but we never really asked the question if you had to choose. So we're going to have to ask the question on this.
So I'm going to speak from pretty much strictly a Bluebell standpoint because
that's
let's
fair.
be honest, that's the only ice cream that should exist.
I agree with that.
And if you're going Bluebell, there's strawberry, so I would go Great Divide.
Okay, that's a fair. I do notice when I eat, and I eat both of them. When I do eat the Neapolitan, the strawberry is either one of two things. It's either the last thing that gets eaten, or it's just kind of a side note because I'll usually just mix it all up into one and eat it that way. But I agree. The strawberry is not the strongest, but the Great Divide, I guess I probably would go Great Divide. I mean, how can you go wrong with vanilla and the Dutch chocolate? You know?
Yeah, with Bluebell, homemade vanilla is their number one, hands down without a doubt, and Dutch chocolate's got to be close right there in the top three or something.
To me, I think
I don't think their strawberry cracks the top 10 of their flavors.
No, no. For me, I think Dutch chocolate is number one. I would put the vanilla probably two, but for me,
I'm just talking about individually,
so
I can get that, but I was talking about more probably sales. I'm
sure sales, probably vanilla. I mean, I think, Chris, Great Divide or Neapolitan?
I gotta go Neapolitan. I like it.
Oh, I like it too. Yeah, I like it too. It's one of those things where I will eat the vanilla and the chocolate whenever. I very rarely will just go and get strawberry ice cream. The only time I'm going to eat strawberry ice cream is with Neapolitan. And honestly, I usually, like I said, I'll put in and I'll just kind of mix it all up. It's pretty good, by the way. Yeah. Ginger, Great Divide or Neapolitan?
Well, I'm with half the chat. I didn't know what Great Divide was until I had to look it up. So
really?
Yeah, it's not a term I've heard before.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Up in Ohio, do y'all have Bluebell ice cream?
No.
Okay. Do you have Bluebell ice cream in Arizona? I suspect not.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Okay. Well, when Great Divide it's chocolate, half vanilla, but the Great Divide is a Bluebell name of an ice cream, but it's half chocolate, half vanilla.
In Ohio, it's either like Breyers or Graters is what are the top two.
I've heard of Breyers. I don't know if I've ever had any, but I've heard of it before.
Yeah, I've had Breyers.
So Gary's never heard of Great Divide. So I wonder if they have Bluebell in Kansas. So if you have Bluebell, the Great Divide is half chocolate, half vanilla. So whatever ice cream brand that you like, they're going to have like their version of the Great Divide. I'm assuming it's going to be half chocolate, half vanilla.
That being said, I'm Great Divide because I never touch the strawberry. I will eat the Neapolitan and never touch the strawberry.
Oh, see, I like the strawberry. It's just not what I go to first.
Bluebell is available in at least in limited capacity in 22 states. Actually,
that's more than I thought.
Yeah, me too. In limited, it says. So obviously Texas is going to be everything, but the further further out you get away, the less availability it is. But you got 22. It's hard to list them all, but Ohio is one, Arizona is one. So Kansas.
Now that also might mean that there's maybe certain cities in Ohio and maybe only certain stores in Ohio would carry it. Also, you never know.
Could be, and they may not even sell in the cities. It may be more of a
So
rural
you guys have a task.
delivery
All
thing.
of you out there complaining that you've never heard of it or never heard of Bluebell or never had Bluebell ice cream. For those of you that are going to be in Dallas for NRAAM, I am tasking you to go by Walmart or wherever and just get a little small one. Find a flavor, little pint.
Probably can get that in any gas station.
Any gas station, yeah. Just find yourself a flavor that you like. Try some Bluebell ice cream and tell me that it's not the best ice cream you've ever had.
Like Bucky's. Bucky's has it.
I'm gonna say this: I've had Bluebell. Graders is better.
Dude,
You gotta try Graders.
I don't believe your word. You're saying you're speaking Greek
Kyle
to
was
me.
here. Kyle would back me up on
This
it.
is the same dude that likes canned Cincinnati chili. So what the hell am I going to believe him for?
Listen,
no way.
Chris, you've had Graders, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, I've never had Bluebell, so I can't.
Well, even crappy ice cream's pretty good. Let's be honest.
So that's well, not all ice cream is created equal, but most is.
Like the generic white, clear tub, whatever, the 5-gallon
it's
bucket.
Not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Yeah,
so we're talking about good ice cream.
I just gotta say this: Dave Portnoy gave Graders ice cream a 9.9 out of 10. Just saying.
Okay.
I don't who?
Dave Portnoy.
Who?
Right.
Get out of here.
What? Okay.
And this is the one we brought up last week, and we had a discussion on. I'm not going to go too quickly. I mean, I'm going to go pretty quickly through this because we talked about this last week. But I went ahead and put it out as a poll: 380 versus 40 Smith. So if you guys weren't here last week, that was one. It was supposed to go out last week, and I didn't publish them for some reason. Real quick, let's go through. I know where we're going to go with this, but just for the people that might have missed last week and all that, Chris, we'll start with you. 380 or 40 Smith?
I'm going 380.
Any smart win would. Ginger? Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
I like the whole. I have a couple pocket pistols that are chambered in 380, and sometimes you just got some gym shorts on, just going down the street to the gas station or something, just grab one of them and go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like 380
though.
I do too. I think it's a fun one to shoot. Yeah. Ginger, 380 or 40 Smith?
One of those is a dead caliber, so 380.
There you go. Fantastic. Good answer. Clover, I know that you're a big 40 Smith guy.
9mm curse, man. 9mm curse.
A lot of people call it 380 the 9mm short. So,
The Browning, a lot of Browning Court, 9mm Browning, 9x17. Yeah. 380's got a lot of different names.
Yeah. I think this went this way in the poll. It's got 1.5 thousand votes. And I thought that maybe okay, this is going to be a joke, but 1,200 people would have to be on a bad joke. 76% say 40 Smith & Wesson.
There's not many morons out there, dude. I'm
just saying, I don't know who you are. You can't be loyal listeners of this channel and like 40 Smith & Wesson. I'm just saying, I don't know who you are out there, but 1,500 votes and 1,200 of them, or what would that be? What's 3/4 of it? Yeah, you folks are high. So
1,200 of
unless G23 created 1,500 alt accounts, which I wouldn't put it past them. What were you saying, John?
I said the same thing you just said. I said G23. Those were all G23's alt accounts.
Had to have been. All right, we're going to go down a rabbit hole here because I think this could be a fun one. Midnight says tea berry ice cream kind of tastes like Pepto-Bismol, but in a good way, like the Pink Ladies. Look, this is going to sound weird. I have certain things in my life that are very weird that I love the smell or the taste of. One of them is I love the way that Pepto-Bismol tastes. I also think that gasoline smells fantastic. But I'm not going to lie. I like how Pepto tastes. So if tea berry ice cream tastes like that, I need to find me some of that. I don't know. What do you guys, are y'all Pepto Bismol? Not what it can do medically for you. Just, I mean, if you've ever had it, do you like the taste of it?
Yeah,
You don't like it? Really? Am I the only one?
I do.
You do like it? Okay.
Yeah. And but I'm weird. But I'm weird too because like cherry flavored cough syrup. Like cough syrup makes my wife gag. Like NyQuil, cherry flavored NyQuil or something.
I can't do cough
Dude,
syrup, but like the cherry flavored like throat lozenges.
Oh, those are amazing.
I can eat those like candy.
Like the Ludens or something for sure. But yeah, like it doesn't have to be NyQuil, but
yeah.
Oh man, I don't have a problem taking that. It's awesome.
Tea berry ice cream or tea berry gum. A company called Clark's makes it. I'm gonna have to go find some of that. So no, like y'all don't like what are some of the weird stuff? Everyone has weird things that they like the smell or taste of. Like I said, I like Pepto Bismol. I love the smell of gasoline. I know that a lot of people don't like that. John, do you have like those weird tastes or smells that you don't mind? That seems to like disgust everybody else.
Yes, the weirdest one that I have is chips and salsa mixed with honey roasted peanuts. I don't know what it is, but it tastes delicious to me. Not like
just the texture of that would be bad though.
You take a bite of like the chip and salsa, then you throw like a handful of honey roasted peanuts in your mouth. It's weirdly delicious.
Just sent me a text with a link for that gum. It's pretty awesome. I have to check that out. I just don't. I mean, the flavor. I don't mind honey roasted peanuts. I like them. I'm a cashew guy. If I had my choice of nuts, you know, I get a little sweeter nuts. I like sweet nuts, sweaty balls, all sorts of things, you know. But no, I'm a cashew guy. But honey roasted peanuts and salsa.
No, you got to do like a tortilla chip, right?
Okay.
You dip it in salsa. You put that
and
in
then put honey roasted peanuts on top of it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird combo that I found as a kid, and I love it.
It is a weird combo. I mean, I like both of those things. I just don't know how it will go like together. I might have to try that though. Interesting. Clover, what's one of the weird? I mean, I know you got a bunch of them, but what's a weird thing that you like the taste or smell of that most people like? Ugh.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, immediately, like with smell, Play-Doh comes to mind, but I think there's a lot of people that way.
Oh, Play-Doh. Yeah, that's a great one.
You want to eat Play-Doh.
We've all eaten Play-Doh before because of how it smells. So we all know what it tastes like, too.
When you smell it, you get that urge to eat it. It's
100%. We've all eaten Play-Doh in preschool because of the smell. So, yeah.
Let's be honest. Elmer's glue is pretty good.
It's not bad. Magic markers. There's a reason why people try to get high on that stuff. It smells pretty good.
It depends.
Like the old Marks-a-Lot.
It depends on the magic markers. It almost has to be the old ones. Like new Sharpies and stuff don't work. The old black
Marks-a-Lot.
The old big black Marks-a-Lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
good stuff. No, so Ginger, before the Sharpies, back in the 80s, there was a company that did all the markers, and they were called Marks-a-Lot. They're no longer around, probably because of Sharpie.
I think they still are.
They smelled fantastic.
That's a Crayola brand, if I'm not mistaken. Marks-a-Lot is, I think.
Your wife says paste from her paste?
Yeah. She's putting out there my peanut butter and onion. Yeah, I do like onions on
peanut butter and onion.
Get you a yellow sweet onion.
That's all we eat. That's not all we eat, but I mean that's what we eat predominantly are sweet onions. Yeah. I love onion and I love peanut. I would have never thought it. Have you even heard of peanut butter and onion? I've never even heard of that before.
I had a grandmother that ate those. It's the only other person I've ever heard of that ate those, and they're good. I like it.
Interesting.
Not individually, but if you take peanut butter and some onion straws and put it on a burger, it's fantastic.
It could be, yeah.
Could be, yeah. I could see that.
With like a little bit of jalapeno jelly. It's really good.
Now, I had a grandfather that ate going down the weird peanut butter road. He ate peanut butter and watermelon.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'm not a big watermelon guy. Like I have to really be in the mood for watermelon, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
See, I don't like watermelon flavoring, like candies and stuff.
I
Like I
love,
don't.
see, I love watermelon
Dude,
flavored
dude.
candy and stuff.
But you
Yeah.
give me an actual, and it's got to be a good watermelon. But you get,
Yeah.
and thankfully there's a couple of areas down here that grow really good watermelon. Yeah, I'll sit and eat watermelon, actual watermelon all day long. But there's something for me, watermelon like candy flavorings or whatever, watermelon flavoring is different in the same way that banana flavoring is different.
Banana flavoring is different. I like banana flavoring just like I do watermelon flavoring, like let's say Jolly Ranchers, if you will, or like Now and Later's or something.
Yeah,
Much rather have like banana Now and Later or a watermelon Jolly Rancher than an actual watermelon or banana.
yeah. I'm
I know
just
that must be weird.
go figure.
Now I figured out, we just learned something, and now I know why Rich, we all think he's weird. Let's just be honest and all of that. His brother used to eat peanut butter and mustard sandwiches. Okay. I love mustard. I've been known to eat a mustard and potato chip sandwich, just mustard and potato chips on some bread, but never peanut butter and mustard. It's just weird. The craziest thing I've done, I love peanut butter, but it's peanut butter or peanut butter and jelly. Everyone knows I love Goober, the grape Goober jelly. But the weirdest thing, the only weird thing that I've ever done that people, I think it's really good, some people think it's weird, is a peanut butter sandwich with the marshmallow spread. So peanut butter and marshmallow sandwiches are pretty damn good.
You can put a little chocolate syrup drizzle on that too.
You can if you want, sure. Where do y'all stand on peanut butter and banana sandwiches?
Fantastic.
My dad liked that. Now he was a big banana guy.
I know a lot of people that like that. I don't care for.
I think that's a southern thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm not huge with banana. If I'm going to eat a banana, it's usually like a watermelon, and that I just want the banana.
Gary says when he was a kid, but that was like in the 1700s. But he said he can remember as a kid when folks would put salt on watermelon. I always ate watermelon with salt.
My family still does. I'm not big on the salt. So here it is. Salt. So salt on a watermelon is like steak sauce on a steak for me. If you've got a crappy watermelon, yeah, it probably needs salt. But if you've got a good, nice, sweet, really ripe watermelon, it doesn't need anything. You don't need any salt.
Yeah.
Like it's like
I'm not a huge fan of watermelon. So I grew up with my dad liking watermelon, and he would put salt on it. And so that's kind of how I always, like, if I was going to have watermelon, he was going to slice it, put it in a plate or a bowl for everyone, and throw some salt on. We just ate it. So that's how I kind of always ate watermelons with salt.
So salt helps you retain water, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that didn't come about because of the high water content in watermelon, and then so on a really hot summer day to get more hydrated, you put salt on your watermelon. I wonder if that come about and it wasn't even a flavor, a taste thing.
You know what? It very well could have been, because that does help you keep, and it's a hydration thing, because most people eating watermelon when it's blazing freaking hot, right? So Midnight says salt and cantaloupe. I'm not a cantaloupe guy, so
yeah, me too.
Your wife likes salt on watermelon, apparently.
Yeah, she'll eat it without it too, but yeah.
Chris, what about you? Salt on watermelon?
Yeah, I don't eat watermelon.
Yeah. Like I said, I've got to be in the perfect mood for watermelon.
I don't eat fried chicken either.
No,
what is watermelon? Okay, so getting a little racy there.
Because they're amazing.
No. I would agree with you that fried chicken is amazing. I would say that watermelon is good. I'm not going to say it's bad. I don't hate watermelon, but it's good. I don't know. I'm just not a big watermelon. I'm not a big fruit guy. Really, the only three fruits that I'll really like, I love grapes. And frozen grapes are even better. If you've never had frozen seedless grapes, try them. It's unbelievable. I like oranges and I like apples. More apples. I have
Not
to be in the
grapefruit.
mood for that, but I'm not a grapefruit guy. I don't dislike it, but I don't like. I like grapefruits much more than I like grapefruit juice. Does that make sense? I don't know why that is.
Yeah, probably all the extra crap they put in it.
Probably extra sugar and all that shit they put in the grapefruit juice. I don't know, but I'm not a big grapefruit person. I don't dislike it, but I'm not a big grapefruit guy. Grapes and oranges.
Apples. I really
Sometimes
like
apples, but yeah, apples on a hot day, a good juicy apples as good as it gets. A Granny Smith apple, the green apples with peanut butter will change your life, by the way.
Oh,
If you're
peanut butter and
a
apple.
fan.
Yeah.
But especially the Granny
caramel,
Smith
or some caramel sauce.
yeah.
Get you some of that caramel sauce.
But here's the thing. The reason why I don't like caramel covered apples is it's too much. If they would just drizzle some
I'm not
caramel
talking
on
about
there,
a covered. I'm talking about get the sauce you dip it in.
I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. I'm not a big fan of like caramel apples because it's just too much.
You can control it with the
That's right.
Dip. Yeah,
that's right.
Now
that's
the chocolate candy store, we'll be driving by
Mhm.
there a couple of times on the way and on the way back. They do caramel apples, but they do like designer caramel apples, so they'll dip them in the caramel.
Why wouldn't they?
But then they will also dip them in chocolate, and then they will dip them in various crushed nuts or other fruits. Or it's crazy. They got some really wild caramel apples at the candy store there. And of course, I don't think they package those and ship them like they do their chocolate candies, but it's part of their little retail store, I think. And they also have Bluebell ice cream there, and also jelly beans. So
yeah,
pretty awesome store.
I like the Pink Lady's apples if I'm just going to eat an apple. If I'm going to eat apple with peanut butter, I know it sounds weird. It's not much different, but there is a difference.
Granny
Smith with the green apples.
Granny Smith is also if you're going to cook because it retains that tartness.
Absolutely. If you're just going to eat the apple, go with a Pink Lady. If you're going to use peanut butter, or the Granny Smith is a great apple for the peanut butter. You can put peanut butter on any apple, but the Granny Smith, to me, is the best apple for peanut butter. You guys, do you do like celery and peanut butter?
That's about the only way I would ever eat celery.
Yeah, that's the only way that I'll eat raw celery is with peanut butter. I'll eat it in if it's cooked in a stew or something, but I'm not going to eat celery like raw without peanut butter, period. Honeydew is a filler melon. I don't even know if I've ever I'm sure I have, because I've heard of it and I'm sure I've had it, but I don't know if I specifically have ever had like honeydew. I don't know. Fuji apples are really good too. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Fuji apples are the bright red ones, correct? I want to say that which ones are the Fujis?
Fuji, I think you're thinking Red Delicious is the bright red ones, and then Fuji's are like the reddish greenish, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, these are the ones that I get at Walmart all the time. Fuji's, yeah.
There's so many different kinds of apples. I don't get it, but,
And really, honestly, I couldn't tell them much apart except for the Granny Smith. They're the only ones that I can tell the difference.
If you cut them up, I could probably put them into like categories, but I couldn't tell you what's what.
Yeah, I couldn't. If you put all the different shades of red apples like in a slice of each in a bowl, like I wouldn't be able to tell you like what the names of them are because I really don't care. I just they're good.
Yeah. I could give you 3 guesses, and one of the 3 would probably be right, but that'd be about as close as I could get.
Yeah.
Have you had a grapple? Have you had a grapple before?
I don't even know what that is.
It's an apple that tastes like a grape. So
Holy shit.
It's like the texture of an apple, but the flavor of a grape.
Grapple. I want to see. Grapple apples. I'll be damned. That's a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go try to find those somewhere. But I like grapes. Do y'all like grapes? Am I the only one that likes grapes? I know Clover likes grapes, but Ginger, Chris, do y'all like grapes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love grapes.
What flavor? What color are you? Like the green or the red or the
I
dark?
like the green ones.
Yeah, I do too.
Take the green apples or the green grapes, put a little bit of citric acid on them.
Mm-hmm.
Put some Jello, like zero sugar Jello packets.
This just sounds like a millennial thing. I'm just saying.
Then you freeze them, and they taste like Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, my wife's done some
dangerous.
weird little things like that.
They're
I can be down
fantastic.
for that.
Yeah.
I like frozen grapes a lot. I will just say this. If you're going to intentionally do frozen grapes, try to find the seedless grapes. It doesn't matter what color or flavor. The last thing you want to do is eat a frozen grape, bite through that thing, and then bite into the seed in the middle. It will fuck your teeth up.
We will typically, when we freeze them, a lot of times we'll mix them.
Yeah.
So we'll have, because we get them whenever they go on sale. It's like whatever color is on sale. That's what
I like the red and the green apples frozen. They're both fantastic. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Yeah.
But
grapes. Grapes. Yeah.
But usually we will mix them up. That way, when you go in there and get a handful or get a whatever, you've got a variety of all of them. Honestly, so
for the most of my life, the only fruit that I can consistently remember my whole life me enjoying and eating just randomly would be grapes. I do like a good orange. But that's typically, I remember getting oranges like after baseball games, soccer games, basketball games, and all that from the teen moms and all of that. I'm a big orange juice guy. I do like oranges, but grapes are like, for me, are the staple. Like those are when I think of fruit that I want to eat, it's definitely grapes. And we started doing them frozen when my daughter was playing travel softball. And we would just freeze a bunch of them, put them in the cooler, and we go to the ballpark. And like those are the first, with all between her and me and all of her friends, like the frozen grapes were like the first thing that went. Like they ate frozen grapes before they ate the burgers we were cooking out, which is hilarious. Cotton candy grapes. I have heard of these. I have yet to try some, but I have heard of these, and I've heard they're actually damn good.
So they're super expensive. They absolutely taste like cotton candy.
Yeah.
I've yet to buy any because they're so freaking expensive. At least they are here. Like, I'm not paying that.
Have you tried them before?
I have, because people do it all the time when you're in the produce section and you just pluck off one and eat it. You know what I mean? Like, I have done that on many occasions. I've just plucked off one and ate it. But yeah.
Fucking G-Webs. He said grapes are tree testicles. Thank you.
Never even heard that. That made me laugh.
Okay. And if you think about it, it's true. It's exactly what they are.
It's pretty much.
They're wine testicles. So yeah, that's the funniest thing he said in a long time. So the grapple is apples soaked in grape juice. Okay. Well, I guess if you can't find the actual grapple, I guess you could do that. I'm not a big grape juice guy though. Like, we're talking about, Clover, you're talking about like watermelon flavor you don't like. You like watermelon itself. Grape juice to me is not good at all, but I love grapes. I don't know.
It's because of the grapes they use to make the grape juice. Most of them use,
and it's probably a lot of it's more sugar, and it's
plus they use Concord grapes, and most of the grapes that you just pluck and eat are not Concord grapes. And jelly is the same way. Jelly is typically made out of Concord grapes.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they have less flavor. They can doctor them up that they put them in things. That's maybe why.
I think that grapes are just tree testicles. Needs to be a sticker or a patch for SHOT Show next year. Grapes are just tree testicles. And guys, how I feel about the tree people. I have much love for tree people. Are grapes the tree people's testicles? I'm just saying.
It would have to be, yeah.
The tree people's testicles. Yep. Tree people lives matter, baby. And if you haven't been around the channel since the beginning, that will go past you, because that was early on, back in the Tactical Tuesday days.
That was way before the whole Lives Matter movement thing.
Oh yeah, way before. I was when it came to Tree People Lives Matter, man, I was ahead of the schedule, and that was back on Tactical Tuesdays back in the day. Tree People Lives. I guarantee you, like Gary, G23, Midnight, they remember the Tree People. They remember the Tree People. Cotton candy grapes. I need to try those. Is that something that like they only sell in specific places? Because I've heard about them. I just never tried them before.
I've got them in pretty much every. I've seen them in multiple stores around here. Now, I don't think I've ever seen them in a Walmart around here, but
Yeah,
any other grocery
like
store
Kroger's
chain,
and stuff, like Tom Thumbs and all them.
absolutely.
Okay.
Any other grocery store chain, I think
Huh.
they pretty much
Because
got them.
there's a
Now
Kroger about 45 minutes from here. I
or
might have to go try
they're
it.
2 or 3 times more expensive, but most grapes are sold by the pound. So
Yeah.
even if you didn't want to just pluck one off and eat it to try it, you could just grab a little.
I have forgotten about those, but I know that a lot of people have said that. I bet you we can. I mean, he said we can find some this weekend for sure. I can stop by a Kroger or Tom Thumb and just grab some for the house. I've heard people talk about them, so I definitely want to try that because I'm not a huge cotton candy fan, but like people that I know that have tried it said they legitimately taste like cotton candy, and that's fascinating to me. So. Yeah, it is what it is.
Wow. We were going to bring the cotton candy machine up, but I guess we won't now.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I
don't mind cotton candy, but I'm not going to go buy like that big thing. There's no way I can finish like the whole thing. Now, if you give me like a bite or two of cotton candy, I'm in. But like when you go to the fair or whatever, and you have to get that big swirl, I will never finish that. It's way too much for me.
Right.
G-Webs. Pro tip for cheap grapes, just buy the least expensive raisins you can find and soak them in water for a while. I don't think that works. But I think that there needs to be an experiment. G-Webs' hypothesis is that if you soak inexpensive raisins in water for long enough, they will turn back into grapes. I would like to see the scientific findings on that. So, yeah. All right.
Is it crazy how grapes have a totally different flavor profile than raisins, though?
Oh, thank God, because I'm not a raisin guy.
It's kind of like you were talking about with the grape juice, and raisins are the same way. Tastes nothing like a grape.
Yep. And I'm not. I can drink wine and I can enjoy wine in certain times, but I'm not that person that goes to a restaurant and say I need a glass of wine. I'm not a wine guy.
That's why you take cycle camp.
True.
That fool
and I've got a lot of wine. But like I said, I'm not that guy that's going to have a glass of wine every day. Or, hey, I can't wait till we open up that bottle of red, or I'm not that guy. Yeah. But I love grapes, so I don't know. We'll have to find some. I like Armentia said. I bet we can find some this weekend for sure. Yeah. Grapes and raisins are different. Well, he said they're different kind of grapes.
They are, yes. Yeah,
they are specific types of grapes, but just raisins in general.
You can get golden raisins, which are a green grape, though.
Yeah, but they're still
tastes nothing like a grape.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't taste like a green grape though at all.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. All right, so as we're talking about buying some in Dallas, NRAAM's coming up this weekend. I know that Chris, unfortunately, you won't be there, but the three of us will.
Quitter, slacker.
I know, right? Well, I don't know where your loyalties are. I mean, who cares about your son's graduation? Let's just
excuses.
Come on, man. I'm starting to question your dedication to this game.
I know.
Jerky and real steak, but both of them are phenomenal. G, in their own ways, jerky and steak are much different, but they are both phenomenal. NRAAM, what are we looking forward to, if anything? I haven't started hearing. I figure the next couple days we'll start hearing stuff slip about what might be released Friday or Saturday. Has anyone really heard anything good that's kind of been leaked to you so far?
So Taurus announced a bolt gun.
Mm-hmm.
But they announced that they released. I mean, they hinted on that like a while ago. Yeah, like last fall, didn't they?
That's a Rossi, though, right?
No, it's under the Taurus brand.
Oh, really?
The one I got was the press release I got was a Rossi. But
I saw Taurus posted something about bolt gun. They're releasing something on the 15th. Walther just dropped. Walther just dropped their 32 auto PPK.
Out time. Been asking for that for
The
5
32,
years.
yeah, the 32 PPK will sell like crazy, especially if people are nostalgic in any way possible.
That Taurus bolt action gun is nice looking. I just looked it up.
Is it? Let me
Yeah.
go look at it. Taurus bolt action rifle.
Yeah, they
Well, hell,
really.
let's go ahead and screen share this. Well, we might as well, right? Share screen. Let's go to the bolt action. Share. The Taurus Expedition 308 Winchester, $984, an 18-inch barrel. So they're going after the Bergara B14 for sure. That looks an awful like a Bergara if you've ever seen one. They're kind of going right at the same price point as that Bergara. I'm not saying it is, but what's
Taurus,
that? Go ahead.
Taurus is really creeping up into the high end with the heritage lever rifles now, and the bolt and that, like, they're expanding their top end, I think, or something the last couple of years, which is interesting. You don't really see, usually you see companies trying to get more on the bottom end of things on the entry level. Taurus is like cranking it up to the next level. It's interesting.
Well, I think it's one of those.
I hope it works for them, but
I think it's one of those things. We look at Anderson. What Anderson's done with the Frontline series, they're trying to get into that mid-level, that tier up. Maybe if it's a company that has kind of made their chops in, let's say, a high end, and then maybe they want to go and get more customers in that low end, entry level, budget friendly, if you will, game. But if you start there at that low end of the Tauruses and some of these companies that are kind of, renowned for being budget friendly firing systems, they're going to want to jump in and say, okay, we have our niche. We kind of own this area. Let's go try to take a swim in the deep end maybe. And we've seen a couple companies do that. Like I said, Anderson going with the Frontline series is a big step for them,
I didn't look what chamberings are they offering that in?
It just says
I think 308 to start.
I think just 308. Yeah, it just says 308. And it's a 700 action, which doesn't surprise me. Everything is. I mean, most things are. But that's kind of got like a Bergara look to it, which is based on a 700 as well. But that kind of looks Bergara-ish to me. Was that? I mean, you guys are familiar with Bergara. Does that look kind of Bergara's to you?
Yeah,
not in a bad way, because I love Bergara. So it's interesting.
Taurus also announced today the new TX22.
Oh, did they?
I like it too. It's kind of a cross between the competition that I have and the regular one. So
That's it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There it is right there. The all-new TX22 Toro, if you will. So what's the difference? The thread did it always have a threaded barrel, or is the threaded barrel new?
They're saying optics cut, threaded barrel. Let me turn this down. Optics cut, threaded barrel, and their performance trigger and a 22 round mag is what the talking points that they have on their Instagram. And the Picatinny rail in the front, which I thought it came with originally.
It's got more than you thought?
No, I thought it came with the Picatinny rail and the original droppings of it too. But they're
mean, like the original TX22, you mean?
Yeah.
So, correct me if
Gotcha.
I'm wrong. The original, the optic, it doesn't have optics cut in the rear, right? It's got a
The original, I don't think was optic cut.
Yeah, the competition model I got hanging on the wall back there was actually mounted. The optic plate was mounted to the barrel, so the slide
it was mounted further forward. See, that's one of the things that really turned me off about the original. Now that you can get an optic on the back of this one, like I could get on board with this TX22. This one. What cut is it? RMR?
Let me go find
Toro series, so it's a plate system.
Oh, okay. So whatever
you want. Go RMR or RMSC. Okay. You can go whatever you want. So where do you guys fall on the plate system? There's a part of me that appreciates it, that kind of gives you flexibility, but I'm not a big fan of the plates themselves. Like, very few plates are worth a damn that I found. Maybe I'm just using the wrong ones, but
Yeah,
I'm not
and it's extra
a
stuff
huge
to
fan.
it's extra stuff to take off. It's extra screws to
Mhm.
keep up with. It's just extra. Yeah, like
I'm
pick a pattern and just go with it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I think the best person to come out with a quote unquote plate system was Springfield with their echelon.
You
Where
would say that.
well, you just remove the little pegs out of it and put it back in, and you don't have an actual plate. It's just different mounting depending on what you're using. I think that's the best one out there right now.
I'm just, like I said, I think the idea of the plate system something that's going to give you some flexibility is an idea. Just no one's done it well enough, in my opinion. No one's done it right. Now, once again, that's just saying the ones that I've used, and I've used several different ones, and I don't like any of them. But I haven't used all of them, and I'm sure as hell not going to go and spend big dollars on a plate system. So that tells you that I'm a pretty cheap bastard when it comes to that. So maybe I get what I pay for, right? Maybe that's some of the things. Let's go while we're here. Let's go to Walther. And let's see. Boom. There we go. Oh, no. Go back to 32. Here we go. That's sexy as hell, man. That is sexy as hell. The 32 in stainless that's iconic, man. That's an iconic gun right there. Good looking gun.
What's MSRP on it?
It's $969. Honestly,
It looked like it was $9 something. That's
not terrible considering.
Dude, that's going to come in 7.5 to 8, maybe.
8. Let's say 8. Yeah. Let's say 800. Yeah. That's pretty good for a 32 ACP PPK. Especially considering the stainless. I do like the stainless look. That's just an iconic gun. It's
you're not going to get an old one, I don't think. For what you can get a new one, which that's always good.
You can if it's not working, probably.
Oh yeah, something that's a beater or something, maybe.
Yeah, but nothing nice. No.
But yeah, and that's always nice to see when they bring back things like this. And the Colt snake guns was the same way, right? Or they've kind of gotten that way now. Originally, people complained about it a little bit, but when you can create some incentive, I guess, right? Because I mean, who wants to pay? If I've got a choice between an old school PPK or this brand new one for the same price, I'm going with the old school. I'm going with the old school. Snake guns are the same way. The serial. Yeah, okay, so it may be the exact same. In some cases, it's not. They've been redesigned, but just saying all things equal, and even if it's the exact same, the serial number is not the same. The markings are typically not the same. It's just not that old school.
I would, and I'll talk with Cody and Lacey this weekend, but I would have to imagine that Walther's smart enough to keep the basic design. Now, maybe some grip textures and stuff like that, but the internals and the design of the PPK hasn't changed in 100+ years. Why would they start now just because they're bringing back the 32, right?
Dude,
I don't know.
The PPK is a solid design. The trigger, it is not a phenomenal handgun, in my opinion, mechanically speaking. But as far as the trigger pull, rack and the slide, things like that. But I don't know of very many people that's ever had trouble with their PPKs.
Yep. It's good enough for James Bond. It's good enough for me, damn it. I'm just going to say it that.
Especially you get you a little suppressor on the end of that thing. Ooh.
You could.
Right.
You'd have to get a threaded barrel.
That's not a problem.
I guarantee you there's an aftermarket.
I promise you there's options for it. They would not be selling that without that.
Well, let's find out if you can.
Aren't
Well,
those
I'm not saying Walther has the option. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
got to
No. There's definitely aftermarket 32 ACP PPK barrels out there that are threaded. Guarantee it. Once again, this is not a new design, folks. This is not a new gun. This is an iconic gun. Been around for a long time. So, yeah. What were you saying, John?
Oh, aren't those barrels pressed in? They're not easy to get out, are they? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think they're press fit.
Yeah.
Easy for who?
I haven't seen this one. Maybe that's some. I haven't seen this one. Obviously, we'll go by the booth this weekend and look at it. I don't know. Let me read the description. I don't. Let's see if they say anything.
Press barrels are not that big a deal if you have the right stuff, though.
Yeah.
True.
I'm just trying to see if they say that's anything that's been changed or whatever.
And any of those, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you can buy a little barrel change kit for Makarovs that will work on PPKs, and you can use a pneumatic like impact driver, or if you just want to use a ratchet and wrench it by hand even to be able to pull the barrels.
Was the blued
anything? Huh?
Was the blued python at shot? If not, that's another new one coming out.
I don't know. I didn't go to
Clover. Do you know?
I don't know either. It seems like it was, but I did not go by there.
Is it still under Colt? Probably.
Yeah, it's under Colt.
Blued python.
That's heresy anyway. Why would anybody want a blued python? Come on. It's basically a trooper.
I mean, when I think the snake guns, I think stainless. That's just me personally.
That's a trooper, man. I hate to tell you, but it's a freaking trooper. Why did they just call it a trooper? Why did they call it a python?
Because the pythons will sell more, probably.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't look good to me. Like, it just doesn't look good to me.
Not at all. Revolvers almost always look better in stainless, unless you're talking single action.
There are some that I like.
And then you want case
snub nose, and black on black looks good on little snub nose pocket revolvers. But anything like a 3, 4, 5 inch barrel, yeah, you got to go stainless. I mean, it just looks good. That's just me. I'm not a revolver guy, so that's just my opinion. Anything else you guys have heard? Huh?
Ruger LC carbine in 45, was that at SHOT Show?
Ruger LC carbine 45.
Trying to remember what was at SHOT and what was not. I'm looking at an article that they posted on New Stuff.
I don't remember. I didn't go by Ruger, but I don't remember anyone talking about the carbine 45 at SHOT. Not that they would, but I don't remember anyone saying anything about it. So that might be something Clover looks into. He likes the old PC season 45.
Rugers. I don't know. I don't have an in with Ruger's a problem, and I haven't been able to ever get an in with a Ruger. I'll make contact there, and you need to talk to this person, and I'll talk to that person, and I'll get a card, and then it's like you get ghosted, like they never. And I don't know. I mean, it could be. I had this conversation with Kyle earlier today, as a matter of fact, talking about Jennifer, their new marketing chick, and I was like, yeah, I got ghosted by her a few years back, and he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't sure if that was her or not, so I had a conversation.
When she was at SIG, or who was she with?
When she was at Silencer Central.
Silencer Central, okay.
He's like, oh, really? Oh my God. And I'm like, don't freak out about it, because when I say I got ghosted, like it doesn't necessarily mean the person just blew me off. Like, people change jobs.
In your case, probably so, but let's just
this is true. So, I mean, I'm not knocking Ruger and saying that it was anything intentional or anything, but I just never have been able to. And I had a grand opportunity. It was back before the cough when the first carbine came out. You remember we were in the Tandem Cross booth.
Yeah,
and they had
no,
that
yeah,
everything, and they were like, "Oh man, yeah, you
Mhm.
want? We'll get you everything to fit out
Yeah.
the carbine." And so I went up there and I'm like, "Hey, I got a heck of a project, and fell apart. Didn't get anything. So like,
G23 says the Ruger 45 has been out for a few months, so it might not have been at SHOT, but if it's been out for 3 months, it probably was at SHOT. I just don't remember anyone talking about it.
I'm disappointed since Ruger has Marlin that they don't put the camp rifles back out. If they're going down this road of different carbines, like you're doing the levers with Marlin, obviously, put the camp carbines back out. Like,
so it looks like to me, I've been ghosted since SHOT Show. It doesn't look like that I'm going to be getting the Henry Mare's Leg because I haven't heard from them since SHOT, which is fine. Does Marlin's never had like a Mare's Leg style? I guess it was the ranch hand or whatever. Ruger had a ranch or something like that. Is that the only, or Rossi? I think Rossi had like a ranch or ranch hand or something like that. Are those like the only two kind of the Mare's Legs of the world that we know of? Because I want to get me a Mare's Leg one way or the other. I'll go buy a Henry. When you were told, hey, we're going to send you one in October, and then they just stopped talking, is what it is. Yeah. I just want one. So I think Mare's Legs are badass looking.
The other inklings I've heard, Heritage has a Mare's Leg, but it's in 22. You don't want that, but
yeah. No.
Other inklings I've heard is our friends at Global Ordnance, specifically Grand Power, is going to be launching something at NRAAM.
I've heard rumors.
Our friends over at EAA are going to be launching something
Friday at 11:30. If you're going to be there, they're having anyone can come to it. It's going to be an event at 11:30 a.m. on Friday morning at the EAA booth. So most of us will be there, obviously, but they're going to be announcing. Yeah, I've heard some rumblings, but I don't know if I can talk about them, so I'm not mentioning. But Grand Power is going to have something pretty cool, I understand.
Yeah, I talked to. It's not Cat. Who's the other guy it's not Sam. Who's the other young guy in marketing that works for them? I talked to him last week about it.
I know who you're talking about, but I haven't. It's either mostly it's Cat, but sometimes Sam. But I know who you're talking about, but I have no idea what his name is. I'm not gonna lie.
Jacob. I feel
you could say it, and I wouldn't know it. Let's just be honest. I know what he looks like. I can see his face, but I have no idea what his name is.
I feel bad.
Clover might, but I sure as hell don't. What happens to the mares that so many manufacturers need to make replacement legs for? That's a fair question. G's on it tonight. I love Gina. I love Good Mood G. G's funny when he gets in that kind of funny mood. I like it. The troll mood, if you will.
Taurus is releasing a new executive series as well. That's on there tomorrow. That's supposed to be announced.
For what? Handguns, revolvers,
pistols?
What?
It just says executive series on the post. It's announced tomorrow.
That sounds like it's a revolver.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I was asking that question. That sounds like something they're going to go after the Smith market, probably.
Like an airweight or something like that. Weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of options, and I don't know. I don't know if Dan's going to be there, but I was talking with Henry at the same time you was, and I ain't heard anything. But then after SHOT, I say that like about a month ago, I heard from him, and he's like, "Yeah, having some trouble. What if we just get you one of the 9mm, carbines or whatever?" And I haven't heard anything else on that.
I don't care. I just would like to it is, but I mean,
so
at this point, I'm assuming what's being done is it is what it is. But if they want to change it up and send go for it. But just let me know.
Henry. A lot of people have to realize that people hear Henry, and this is true of a lot of companies. You know, just outside looking in, and until you get to know the people of these companies, you don't really understand how small some of these companies actually are.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Henry is one of those. It's a huge name, but it's actually a small company with fairly small production numbers. And so, before they can send anything out, that sort of thing, they got to meet all their orders and their quotas and their other things.
I get it.
They
But
don't
when
have
we
the
were at
same
Shot, he was like,
allocation.
"Oh, I thought that should have been sent to you like a month ago." Like I was like, "Oh," he said, "Well, get back with me after Shot." Cool, did. And he's like, and I've reached out a couple different times. I was like, you know what? It is what it is.
Right.
But I was so excited about that Mare's Leg. So excited. Like, how excited I was,
SAR revolver excited, maybe that still hadn't happened.
Yeah, I get it.
And I've
The
talked
difference
with
is
who's
these
the new
aren't
guy. Who's the new guy with SAR? Because I've talked to him, Jake.
Jake.
Jake's the vice president.
Yeah.
So you might have to go to somebody else because I'm friends
Jason.
with Jake.
Jason's also there. I think Jason, is that his name?
It was.
Is he not there anymore? They changed. Let's be honest. They changed. There was a guy named
Raul.
Jason at one point, and then Raul was at TriggerCon last year.
Raul, I may need to talk with Raul now that you're mentioning that.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. That's what I'm saying. He's not there anymore. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's probably what fell through then.
But there was a guy named Jason, but I don't think he's there. I don't know.
They had a new guy. Jake emailed me the other day, and they had a new guy, but then Juan asked me for the email, so I don't know who Juan is, but.
So Juan is the LEO marketing and guy for LEO and all of that, but he's also the guy that goes to like all of their range days because he's that guy. So he may not be the one to actually talk, but he will get you to the person that actually needs to talk to. So go through and he says if for anything, get a hold of me because he's like if I can't personally help you, then I'll make sure that it gets in front of the person that can actually help you. So I think Juan's kind of officially under LEO and military, all that stuff. But I think he wears several hats. If I'm not mistaken, Chris, did you get that same gist from talking with Juan? I mean, it was your show.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely doing everything over on Instagram. You can tell that. And
yeah.
So I think he's kind of looks like he might be a big part of the marketing right now too. So probably the guy to talk to.
And that's the problem with SAR is, I mean, at one point, Jake was the only person that was left from the old regime. Like they literally got rid of like everybody. And it was really strange. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully they're going to stay somewhat stable and find some good people. I was just on Chris's show with Juan. If you guys haven't seen that and you want to know about more SAR, go check out Chris from last week. Great podcast with Juan from SAR. Juan seems like a really cool guy, a really good guy that cares about the product. So let's just hope he's around for a while because they've had a way in the last several years of getting rid of some good people. So, or people just leave. So hopefully he stays or they don't get rid of him. Kyle, what's up, homie? Kyle is already in Big D. He is out with the company. That's why he is not here. He says that Primary Arms has a new patch or sticker every day this week. So that's kind of a cool thing. Any new stickers or patches that y'all have heard of? I'm sure John, the patch whore, has probably heard some patch rumors.
Yes, there's a very limited amount of Star Wars patches through a friend of a friend, and I will tell you who that is off the air because there's very off air. Night Vision is doing their daily patch as always, which is
they're usually pretty good patches. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they're normally my first stop every day. This is go say hi to Rachel because Rachel's fantastic people. I heard EAA might do a patch, but it could be coasters again. I'm just saying.
He's packing right now. His flight leaves early in the morning tomorrow morning. And from what I heard, they're bringing 10,000 sets of coasters with them.
Those have been rebranded as targets.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. They are now 22 LR targets. Yes, they are. Yes. Yes.
I've heard there's going to be plenty of patches. I just don't know. I know Tag Precision or Tag Precision is going to have a new patch.
I'm sure PSA, they always have
they'll have some patches.
Stickers. They always do.
Yeah.
Block will have new stickers. Oh, wait. Never mind. They don't do new anything.
So the Geisley. Well, no, wait, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell you that off air.
Okay.
No, I think it's there'll be plenty. I'll grab some extras to meet it with G.
Get some for G, because I mean he's not too far from you, and you know he's more of a patch whore than you are.
Oh, I know.
And that says something. Geisley has good badge holders. I'll give you that, because they actually spend money on their badge holders. I'll give you that. Geisley, they do for SHOT Show. I don't know. Do they bring? I don't know.
If you're gonna use a badge holder from a show, guys,
that's the one you got. And I'll say, if you can find them, which he only does a little bit. Savior, for the limited run of badge holders, when Savior has them, they're great badge holders too. I was lucky enough to get a couple of those, but every year Geisley makes enough of them. Everyone can have one. If you're going to a show and you're not wanting to get like your own badge holder, Geisley's the way to go, by far the best.
But if you're going regular, man, those from Tactical Tailor, just because the strap is wide.
I've been going for 7 years with them, and they have not failed me yet. Same
wide strap is so much more comfortable than the little cord.
Yep. Ghost, just make sure you hit the booze or badges before Gary gets there. I don't do swag at shows. I'll do swag when it's something that I personally like or want. I don't go and grab swag anymore. I haven't done that for probably 4 or 5 years. First couple of years I did, and I just kind of lost the fire for it. I've got so many patches that I'll never put up a patch wall. And I'd much rather have people like Clover and Ginger and G and all of them.
Well, I don't even
enjoy them.
I don't even pick up what I used to. I'll get wherever I'm at. If they're there, I will get 2 or 3 or something. That way I've got one and then maybe a couple extra. I don't rake the table off in my bag or nothing like that.
Yeah, the only patches
but
that
it's
I'll
only
get is
I don't run around.
Okay.
I don't run around soaking them up, at every single stop either. So
yeah, I the only patches that I'll get is just something that I like. Just randomly walk past. Oh, it's a pretty cool patch. Get that, and I usually trade one of mine for them or something. Or someone says, "Hey, can you get me a patch?" And it's not like a specific one that they've heard. It's like, "Hey, can you get me a patch from so and so?" And it's usually a viewer or someone, a channel member or something. "Hey, will you pick me up a patch from so and so?" Yeah, absolutely. If I remember, remind me, because I will forget. But I don't go searching for patches anymore. I did for the first couple of years, and I just didn't enjoy it. And like I said, now I've got patches that I'm never going to do anything with, and it's like, okay, so what am I doing this for?
The guy that owns a gun shop, every single show, I'll get a text before I leave, because he'll see it on social media or something. He's like, "Don't forget give me some Ruger stuff." He's always wanting me to.
He's a Ruger guy. Okay.
Pick up some Ruger stuff to bring back to it. And it's like, okay, that's the only reason I got to stop by the booth. But okay.
Yeah, you should get him. You should go to the Ruger booth and ask for all their catalogs that they're giving out, because they have.
He probably gets.
I know, but just bringing him a catalog from SHOT, But I've seen that Ruger catalog so many people are walking around like, why? Like, why would you walk around with a catalog? I don't understand that. You can probably find it in a PDF form online. Let's be honest,
Yeah, get it the last day or
something, right?
No, but definitely not walking around with it.
People, rookies.
Or pick one up the last hour of the day or something.
G says, "Be the patch. Patches are everywhere. You simply just need to be open to find them, and they will find and make themselves available." So it's like leprechauns. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They just make themselves available when you need them or when you don't need them.
Oh, talking about things releasing, and I haven't seen a whole lot. I haven't had a whole lot come through.
Mhm.
That's not uncommon. I think we kind of agree on that with NRA, though. You don't necessarily see a whole lot. with
Usually
NRA.
it's Thursday. If someone releases stuff, it's usually Thursday to get the hype up before
Yeah.
Friday.
But you don't see a whole lot either way.
No, you don't.
So,
no.
But
At least not since cough.
yeah, it's so close to shot that if they could have it ready for NRAAM, typically they can push it and have it ready for shot a lot of times. But anyway, the PD-10, the long slide or whatever, long barrel, the 5-inch or whatever is supposed to. I think Rob said was supposed to be there. So
that's what I heard, but you never know. But yeah, when I talked to him last, that was going to be an NRAAM thing, so that'd be kind of cool. Definitely see that. There's all sorts of stuff that are going to happen, but nothing that like stands out and say, "Oh, I can't wait to go see that."
I can't.
As of now, the one that I'm going to go and see first will probably be the PPK. But it's not like it's a new gun, but it's not a new gun. You know what I'm saying? I want to go and see if they've done anything, different with it, or they left it alone like they should have. Gizzard just wears a windbreaker. He sewed Velcro all over. He can just walk up to a booth and wiggle his arms and patches clean to him. The sad thing is, I could 100% see Gary do that.
Yeah.
Members only jacket with Velcro all over it. I'm just saying. I feel the members only. All right, hour 41. We have completely just bullshitted our way through this. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Chris, Ginger, Clove, anyone? Any questions out there from the chat? Anything y'all want to talk about? Because I really have nothing.
Well, we've got, which John and I'll be there, but we've got range day Thursday, not just.
Yep, I won't be. I'll be driving in.
So there'll be that. I'm not. Have you been to the primary arms range day?
I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have gone. I'm just saying, Once again, there's really nothing that I want to just go and shoot, So
I'll just be standing at my booth the whole day.
Have you been before to primary arms range day, John?
No, this will be my first one. And just a heads up, they sent over an email, bring wet weather stuff.
Yeah.
Here's a problem with that. I understand the sentiment that they want to put out there, and people say, hey, if you're not paying attention to the weather Thursday, it could get dicey at times, right? But here's the thing. There's a lot of companies that spent decent money to be at that range day. And as soon as the people that are supposed to be going to range day get the email about rain, it's going to cut the attendance to a third of what it could be, probably. And that sucks. If I was primary arms, look, if people are going to an outdoor range day, they need to be smart enough to understand they need to be ready for anything. But the second they send an email out to everyone saying bring rain gear, I hope they understand that they're screwing a lot of these companies, because the attendance is not going to be shit just for that reason alone. And that's sad, because people are spending money out there these companies are spending money to be at that range day, and they're killing themselves. Primary Arms is. They're killing themselves by sending that email out.
There's a reason that I asked John about if he'd been before, was trying to get a frame of reference. Now, I know that Snob out there in the chat, I don't know if Snob's still out there, but I know he's been to one before. And I'm wondering what kind of turnout they get anyway. Let's be honest.
It's about 3. Kurt was telling me, because he's been, it's like 300 people, 400 people.
Okay.
Is it all optics? No. Like Anderson will be there. It's going to be a normal range day. It's not all optics. It's just sponsored by Primary Arms. Obviously, they're going to have a bunch of optics, and they're going to have all that stuff. But, it's a normal range day, G. So,
well, I tell you this: regardless of whether it's raining or not, Kyle and I will be shooting in the rain if that's the case. I don't care.
Sure. And if you guys remember, he kind of hinted there might be something kind of cool at the booth there at Primary Arms Range Day at the Anderson booth. So if you're going, make sure you stop by the Anderson booth. Something cool might just be there.
There wasn't, going through the list for that range day, there just wasn't a whole lot of companies that raised an eyebrow with me anyway. So, but it's a lot of, seemed like there was a whole lot of tactical stuff too. So, I mean, they take it for what it's worth, right? But,
well, I mean,
so I don't know how long, rain or not, I don't know how long it's going to, I'll end up being there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get it. I just, like I said, and it may not be an issue at all. I find it difficult to believe that could do any good for the attendance is sending that email out. Now, maybe they had to for liability or insurance. They may have had to say, hey, be careful with weather, for lightning or whatever. But man, if I would have got that, like I was on the phone with Clover when he got the email and I said, well, even if, I'm not going to go if it's raining, even if I was going to be there and it was raining, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go. I'd rather sit in my hotel room and be warm and all that. So just sending that email out, in my opinion, just is not a smart move. That's just me though.
Well, it's like you had said too, when we were talking, we're talking about Texas and, in May, so it's not
going to be cold.
It's not cold, rainy. So that's one good thing. If you have an umbrella, you have other things. I mean, and then you got covered areas, you got other things going on. But then I'm in a little different situation too. So if I was coming in from far away, doing, you know what I mean, and I knew that it was very likely to rain or something like that, then it may change my opinion. But I literally have to drive.
Away.
I literally have to drive right by the place. You know what I mean? Going in NRAAM. So like it makes no sense for me not to stop off. If the rain quits for 10 minutes to do something, it quits.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm not saying. I'm just saying that I don't think it was a smart idea for Primary Arms to send that email, because I think that a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not going to go if there's a chance of rain."
Did they send anything for range day at SHOT?
No, they never do, because they know. Well, first of all, it's January in Vegas. There's going to be weather.
I couldn't remember if they did or not. Yeah.
I've never seen any weather updates. It's just one of those things that, going to range day at SHOT Show, it's going to either be cold, it's either going to be rainy, or it's going to be windy. The worst ones are when they're all three, and that's happened a couple times the last few years. But there's going to be something at range day that's, it's January in the desert. So once again, I think that you're using that model of, if you're signing up to go to an outdoor range day, look at the weather, guys. But for Primary Arms to send that email, I think was a mistake. I think they screwed themselves on that. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't know. Anyways, all right, Ginger, I'm going to bring you in real quick. I'll give you a few minutes for people that weren't here. Talk about what's going on with the GOA. There was some Ninth Circuit news about felons can get their gun rights back. The Ninth Circuit. Have you guys heard anything about that? And then talk about fully loaded reviews as well.
Yes, we've heard about it. Yes, the legal team's working on it. Yes, the state and federal guys are working on it. I'm just a marketing peon, so they haven't told me anything about it.
No, I've heard, but I also haven't heard anyone really talk about it in depth. So before I make a comment, I'm going to go try to read up on it, because those decisions can be very, very tricky on how things are worded specifically. So just hearing it saying, oh, well, they said that, felons can get their gun rights back. Maybe they said that. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
there was. Else heard about that?
Yeah, I did a little reading, watched a few things from some trusted, legal channels and stuff today.
That's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't talking head YouTubers that are stupid. It was actual lawyer channels.
I resemble that comment. What the
So
hell?
anyway, yeah, I don't listen. I don't do the infotainment people that just regurgitate some videos they've seen. But anyway, I can't think of the. John may help me, but there was a previous case. Was it like Vasque or that started with a V?
Yes.
You know the one I'm talking about. But
Yes,
there's a previous case that is a hang up because it was pre-Bruin. And so the dissenting opinion on the 3-judge panel, there was a 2-1 vote, 2-1 ruling. The dissenting opinion referenced that and said,
but is that negated by Bruin now?
It should be negated by Bruin, but he said because that case has not been reheard under Bruin guidelines, it should still be held as precedent.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that, and not that I agree with it, but that's an interesting way of thinking about it, because
I thought that
is kind of true.
Yeah, I thought that too. It's like, hey, this previous case, you need to rule on this previous case again.
Because of the Bruin,
before you take the newer one. So that may be a weird little monkey wrench that gets thrown into things. And then the other thing too, I found interesting about this case that I didn't know, it was brought forth by no 2A organization. It was brought forth literally by the federal public defender. The federal public defender's office.
Interesting.
Right?
With no backing at all?
Yeah.
Wow. And it made it all the way to the circuit court?
No public backing. John, they can elaborate more.
I get that, but you're telling me that if they were backing it or helping out, you'd know about it. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine
I think they would sign their name to it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder if he approached anyone or even wanted anyone supporting it. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, the Vandalay Industries case.
I saw that. So you want to be my latex salesman, huh?
God.
But so yeah, I'll have to read about it. I haven't looked at it at all. That said, not that I agree with it, but that dissenting opinion about retrialing certain things after Bruin is an interesting thing that I never really thought about.
Yeah, because otherwise they still count as precedent, right?
They're still precedent.
This is what's dangerous. This is what's dangerous about precedents.
Yep. And here's the problem: is we know that many of the current SCOTUS judges,
Kavanaugh,
are big on precedents.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I never really thought about that. Wow. Hearing trials, or I'm not saying retrying them, but at least rehearing arguments after Bruin, because that does change a lot. That's interesting. Kyle wants to know what hat you're rocking tonight. What is that?
This one?
Yep.
This is the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Miami Vice Edition.
That's badass.
But to give an update, this was just put down about 9 hours ago. So our Texas case against the ATF, universal registration check, which is the rule, the judge agreed that to our request of expedited briefing schedules. So ATF has to respond by today, which I don't see.
End of business, or end of day today.
End of business today. And then our response to the ATF has to go by tomorrow. And then oral arguments start the 16th before the 20th date that they set in place.
So what happens if, I'm assuming the ATF, let's assume they don't respond today. What happens if they don't respond?
Then we put in our arguments against them.
So you don't have to respond. There's nothing to respond. So it skips straight to arguments at that point.
Yeah, it would go into oral arguments between us.
Interesting.
That's what the other thing is.
Now, do they typically respond? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do they typically respond on stuff like this or no?
Normally,
okay.
Yeah, they normally respond and we respond back. but
And
we're
then
also
go to arguments at that point.
yeah. But the other thing with this case is the reason why we're trying it in Texas is because Texas is, as a state, would be more likely to sue on behalf of everybody.
Right
too.
now, they will. Yes.
Right, as of this moment in time, but that's what's going on recently in the 2A news, and then there were some NFA hearings that are going on too
Oh, interesting. On what? Do you know?
on getting rid of it.
Like completely abolishing the NFA?
Yeah, under the Shush Act.
I mean, I love that. I think that's the greatest thing that's ever happened, but it won't happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish it would, but anyways, yeah, okay. Well, I will see you this weekend.
Yeah,
I know that you're gonna be busy for dinner every night, but I will see you during the day probably.
No, I think I'm free most of the weekend. Just Thursday.
Just Thursday. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well,
but I'll be there as fully loaded reviews.
Absolutely, you will be. Absolutely, we wouldn't expect anything less from you, John. and when you do get kicked out of NRAAM, please text me so I can video the actual moment that you get thrown out of the building. I would love to video that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going under.
And so would the GOA. I think they would actually enjoy that because that would be amazing.
Yeah, it'll be myself and a couple other of our team going to be there. Just walking around.
Videographers.
But I got a vendor badge with Kurt, so we'll see. I might have to get another vendor badge here there.
Just in case. In case. We'll see this weekend. But Christopher, you got a show coming up Thursday night or what's going on?
No, we won't be doing a show this Thursday. That'll be next Thursday.
Okay. Who's coming on then? Do you know? Or can you say yet?
Yeah, I got Chevy coming on from Hood's Handgun Training. He's coming on. So he's been on before. He's a good guest. Friend of mine here in Ohio. So it'll be fun having him on.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I had a bunch of optics sent to the house last couple weeks. Green dots are starting to get really popular. So I've had a lot of new green dots show up, and some of the companies are redoing the red dots with the green emitters now. And
I'm not going to lie, 10 years ago when they first kind of started seeing some green, I was not a fan. But I will say the last probably 4 or 5 years, I don't know if they've just gotten better with the technology or what, but I am a much bigger fan of green dots now than I was 10 years ago for sure.
Well, they're especially nice when you have astigmatism because they don't starburst as bad as red. So, yes, I got a bunch of that coming up. And then I'm working with a new light company, new to me. They've been around for a while, but we've been trying to get the affiliate stuff set up. I didn't want to drop the videos until we got all that stuff set up. So they just emailed me and everything's a go. So I'm going to start releasing those videos now too.
There you go.
Well, yeah, good. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Having fun. So appreciate you having me on, and hope you guys have a great time at NRAAM. And looking forward to try. All your content and stuff coming out of there.
Well, I'm assuming, John, that you'll be putting some content out on Fully Loaded Reviews. As normal for me, and Clover can talk about what he's going to do as well. But for me, during NRAAM, I won't have anything coming out that weekend. I'll be post NRAAM. But for content like of during NRAAM, it'll be Instagram, and I'll probably try to post them on like maybe YouTube community tab or whatever. But if you want me, I'll be taking a bunch of pictures and maybe even some reels or shorts and all of that I'll put over on YouTube Shorts and Instagram. But if you want stuff to follow during the weekend, it'll all be on Instagram. So make sure that you're following Instagram if you want to see latest and greatest. DM me, hit me up if you slide into my DMs, whatever. Hit me up if there's something that you want me to go and see this weekend, and I will take some pictures or do a short or whatever, a reel, whatever they call them these days. and get that done. But my content this weekend will be on Instagram, and then you'll be able to see some videos coming out in the next week or two over on YouTube. But it's all going to be probably Instagram and YouTube Shorts over the weekend. Clove, what you got coming up, and how are you going to be covering? Where can people find your content this weekend?
Just getting things ready. I got a lot of stuff rustled up last night with cables and chargers and microphones and things, you know what I mean? Got everything charged up and whatever. So just got to probably wash a few clothes tomorrow, pack up, and got 3 new pairs of shoes that haven't made a show yet. So that's going to be fun to, break those in. No, as far as the content, so I've been playing around more with X lately than I have. Kind of went back and I hadn't done anything since Elon took over. I kind of gave up on the Twitters, a long time ago, but last, I don't know, a few weeks, month, been playing around over there. So we'll probably add that to the mix, most likely. Kind of like you, as far as booth reviews type things, longer videos, there really won't be anything until, we get back and get all that edited out, and I'll drop all that pretty quick. Once we do that, I plan on trying to get some footage from the range day, and then, some of our industry friends there and cover some of their stuff. We'll be going live every day, somewhere in that 10 to 11 a.m. Central Time from Avidity Arms, and hopefully have some different people from some different booths. Maybe John will come in and talk about fully loaded reviews or TOA or something, and you can come in, and some other folks just talk about what they're doing at NRAAM and what they have in their booths and that sort of thing. We can't show anything, unfortunately, but we'll have that. I think we're working out some plans on something similar with
we are
EAA.
I was talking with Chase today. We kind of got the times locked down, so we'll talk about that off there if you want.
So we'll have that, and if you follow the channels or community tabs or whatever. But we'll post the probably more shorts videos than anything during the show, and that'll happen probably YouTube, Instagram, and X most likely. And I know you probably got a shout out to give, so I'll go ahead and give my shout out. You will see some post roll, mid roll ad type shout out other stuff from Gideon Optics. So thanks to the guys over there, they help with the trip.
You will not see mine this time. You'll see mine during SHOT because HRT is not going to be at NRAAM anymore. So they just transferred theirs to SHOT of 2025.
Okay.
Chris wants to actually be around. And he's like, is that cool? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, I mean, we were talking. He was like, well, what about all that? And I was like, bro, like my payment, my thing for SHOT show is a little more expensive than NRAAM, but I don't care. We're friends. Like, you've already paid for this. I don't care. Like, we're friends. So he's just transferring that to SHOT because they're not,
that's
they're not able to come.
They could have still got the.
That's what I said. I said, you can still do it, man. And he was like, he's like, no, because one of the things is he wants to do a review with him.
True. Yeah.
And I was like, I can still do that. I can still do that, but no, we talked to him last week and he was like, so it is what it is. But
that's interesting because I won't name the company because we're still working out some stuff.
Yeah.
But this from behind the scenes that originally Gideon was my, whatever you want to call it, partner for GunCon.
Oh, okay.
And I had another one for NRAAM, and like literally 4 days ago or whatever it was, the one from NRAAM backed out. And so I hit up Gideon and I said, hey, question. And they're like, what? And I'm like, package was the same, pretty much everything all equal. Can I move you guys to NRAAM? And then that gives me a month to hit up some companies or maybe even talk to some companies at NRAAM, right?
Well, I'm assuming Gideon isn't mine because that's maybe a little bit more exposure.
No, they 100%. They were like, what you do, great company for those out there that don't know. And they were like, you do what you do. As long as we, you come through and get the work done, we're cool. We don't care where you do it. I'm like, that works. So, but okay. Well, that's interesting.
I mean, they pulled out of NRAAM not gonna go over why live on air, but
It happens. Yeah.
it happens, and it is what it is. And he was like, I said, man, we can still do it, right? And he's like, well, I was thinking, what if we did it for shot? And I was like, he's like, how much more is it for shot? And I said, I tell you what, I said, it is more at shot than it is for NRAAM. Let's just be honest. And I was like, but dude, we've been friends for 7 years. Right. And, I said, it's good. We'll call it even. He was like, you sure? I'm like, absolutely. No, just send me invoice. No. I was like, there's going to come a point when I need something from you, and just don't forget this, or whatever, But no, he's like, you sure? I was like, absolutely. We'll just keep it the same and same price, same deal. We'll just do it for a shot, which he likes because he's getting a shot deal for
bonus
cheaper,
Well, and that's the thing with Gideon too. I mean, why would they complain? They're getting moved from Uncon to NRAAM. Which one, honestly, is going to get more traffic?
Exactly,
more eyes. So, yeah.
Especially
if there's happens to be any drama or anything like that might cut loose like 2019. You never know with NRAAM.
You never know. If there's ever going to be something that happens at NRAAM, I feel this is the year with everything's going on with LaPierre. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
This could get interesting.
Could be.
We'll see. Or it could just be nothing. And you never know. Last year, I don't remember anything happening in Indy last year.
Nah, it's been quiet. Other than the protests in Houston, it's been pretty quiet, which had nothing to do really with the NRA. It's been
in
quiet
2019 Indy, we had the old Ollie thing, which was awesome. Like that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever been at a show. Was when the whole Oliver North thing went down in Indy.
Was amazing.
It was awesome, and I was like, "Holy shit, what's going on?" And I want to say that we were in the Faxon booth with you, John, when all that shit went down. Everyone's on their phones going, "What?" And then Pincus is over there,
or around the TVs that they had.
Yeah, and Pincus was in there trying to get heard, and they were trying to get him kicked out. I mean, it was like all this was going on. I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!"
The news broke very fast. I remember all of
it, and it spread like that. I mean, it was like that, which was cool. It was a cool thing to witness, And
that was a big catalyst. A lot of people don't realize that, but that was a catalyst that set a lot of the things in motion that's happened since.
Oh yeah.
Wayne's gone now, and that was, I think, if we hadn't had that going on at 19, I don't know that we have a 24 with Wayne going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unfortunately things take time.
So G said 4 reform candidates elected: Amanda Suffolk and Rick Ector. This is the most important NRA show since 77. Was 77 Red October?
That was the Cincinnati coup.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Cincinnati coup. Okay.
Cincinnati
Red October was a couple years after that, maybe, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I remember. Okay. Cincinnati coup was set. You were saying yes. Are you saying yes to Red October, or are you saying yes to the Cincinnati coup? Or could it be the same thing? I'm just calling it. They might be called different things. Anyways, okay, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting in NRAAM, because a lot of people go for the show, and a lot of people go for the meetings, and it is one. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, the Cincinnati coup was Red October because it's in October that year. Okay, I remember like the late 70s, all of the shit that happened, and I didn't know the Cincinnati coup and the Red October is the same thing. Then we were thinking the exact same thing, guys. Yeah. It is interesting to see the dynamic of NRAAM. It's so much different than any other thing because you have this show, and it's a show. It's a small shot show, right? But on the flip side, you have all the politics stuff happening in the meetings, and especially the last few years with LaPierre and all of that. It's just been crazy. And you get a mixture because people come back from the meetings into the show, and you're hearing all the scuttlebutt of what's been going on and all of that. It is an interesting dynamic.
And it changes the vibe on a dime.
Yeah,
like
and
19, I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember
but
that in
19 was
19
amazing.
especially.
In
That
19, it was amazing.
how
Yeah.
quickly the vibe changed. You
It
know?
went from a good show to, oh my God, like
We've got a
that.
shot. This may happen.
Yeah.
We may get
This
floppy hair out of
may
here. Things
happen.
may actually change. Yeah.
And I think you are right, Clover. I think that was, whether it was intended to or not, that was the first stepping stone to at least, how do I put this? Reveal or pull back the curtain of LaPierre a little bit, to where it forced people to look at and see, this guy's not on the level. Like, this guy is not a good person, you know?
And I don't recall, we talk about Rob, and there was many more people than just Rob.
Absolutely.
And so that may be something that I may get Rob to comment on Friday morning when we fire off the live.
I'm assuming he'll be in the meetings,
and get a list. Well, I would like to get a list from him of some of the other people involved, just to give them credit. Right.
Oh, in 2019, you mean?
19. Yeah. Who was with you in 19? Really, really pressing on that, because I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember
obviously
Rob.
We're friends with Rob, and so we remember Rob, and Rob is one of the loudest voices in a room when he's in a room, because he's, an attention whore like that. But I would really like to know who else was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing. But yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. A little over 2 hours. Looking forward to seeing everybody in NRAAM next week. We'll talk a little bit. Hopefully, we'll have some good news from the meetings in Dallas and the show. And we will. G said Jeff, Knox, Rob, and like 6 other people. So I figured Jeff would have been involved. We should have known that.
Yep, should have known Jeff.
But yeah, we'll have hopefully some good news to report from NRAAM next Tuesday and all of that. Gonna miss seeing you, Chris. We'll look forward to seeing you soon, but we're gonna miss you seeing this weekend. Make sure you get out there to the range. Be more proficient with your firearms. Stay in touch with all the 2A legislation that's going on, local, state, federal. Make sure that your elected representatives are doing their jobs. And if not, guess what? 2024 is an election year. We can take care of that shit real quick, folks. More importantly, enjoy your freedoms of being an American, one of which is to keep and bear arms. We'll see you soon. Semper Fi.